This is DD India and you are watching Express News, a program where we bring you top 100 news of the day. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. The armed forces on Monday held another comprehensive press briefing on India's ongoing Operation Sindoor and reiterated that India's fight was, is and will always be aimed at terrorists and terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and not against the country's army. During the briefing, Air Marshal A.K. Bharati said that it is a pity that Pakistani military chose to intervene and bat for terrorists and hence Indian army chose to respond. Air Marshal A.K. Bharati further added that the battle-proven system stood the test of time and took the enemy targets head-on, highlighting the stellar performance of the indigenous air defence system, the Akash. Air Marshal also said that putting together and operationalizing the potent AD environment has been possible only because of budgetary and policy support from the Government of India in the last decade. Air Marshal informed that the numerous waves of drones and unmanned combat aerial vehicles employed by Pakistan were thwarted by indigenously developed soft and hard kill counter UAS systems and the well-trained Indian Air Defence personnel. DGMO Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai said that targeting Indian airfields and logistics is way too tough, adding that in the last few years, the character of terrorist activities has changed, attacking innocent civilians. Air Marshal A.K. Bharati further clarified that India's military bases, all of them, continue to remain fully operational and ready to undertake any future missions should the need so arise. Speaking at the press conference, Vice Admiral A.N. Pramod said that the Indian Armed Forces are maintaining continuous surveillance to degrade or neutralize threats as they emerge, also to ensure targeting at extended ranges. He further added all these are conducted under the umbrella of a comprehensive and effective layered fleet air defence mechanism that caters to all threats, be it drones, high-speed missiles or aircrafts. Earlier in the day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a high-level meeting at his residence in New Delhi. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan and Chiefs of 3 services and Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri were present in the meeting. Normalcy has returned to the border areas of India following the second day of peace along India's western frontiers. The overnight period in Jammu and Kashmir and other international border regions reported 0 incident. Markets have reopened as usual and border areas, residents in border areas are returning to their homes. This marks the first calm night in the recent period. However, security establishments remain on high alert. Several border districts of Rajasthan on Monday saw people engaging back in routine activities, reflecting a sense of normalcy. As a precautionary measure, schools, colleges and coaching institutes are closed on Monday in several border districts, while blackouts in Jaisalmer continued overnight along with Bikaner, Sri Ganganagar and Barmer districts. Civil aviation authorities have reopened 32 airports across northern and western India, which were temporarily closed for civilian flight operations. The restriction originally in place until 5:29 a.m. IST on the 15th of May 2025 has now been lifted with immediate effect. These airports are once again fully operational for civil aircraft operations. Travellers are advised to check flight status directly with the airlines and monitor the airlines' websites for regular updates. After officers of all the 3 wings of Indian Armed Forces addressed a press conference with video and photo evidence of punitive strikes on terrorist infrastructure, the Pakistani press conference that followed generated a lot of interest and invited significant ridicule. Media organizations across the globe ridiculed Pakistan for imitating the press conference of India for mere optics. Indian equity indices ended on an emphatic note, with both the Sensex and the Nifty surging over 3.5% each. At close, the Sensex surged 2,975 points to close at 82,430. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange jumped by 917 points to settle at 24,925. Gold futures maturing on June 5th were priced at 92,600 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for May 5th maturity stood at 94,420 rupees per kilo on the MCX. Indian rupee slumped 84 paise to close at 85 rupees 61 paise against the US dollar. Oil prices rose on Monday after both sides in US-China trade talks over the weekend touted their progress, which lifted market sentiment that the world's two largest crude users may be moving towards a resolution of their trade dispute. Brent crude futures climbed 43 cents to $64.34 a barrel, while US crude was trading at $61.5 a barrel, up 48 cents from Friday's close. Wall Street stock futures climbed and the dollar firmed against the safe haven peers on Monday as signs of progress in US-China trade talks boosted hopes that a global recession might be avoided, though specifics were still sorely lacking. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba on Monday signaled that increasing corn imports from the US would be among options in trade negotiations with Washington. Speaking in Parliament, Ishiba repeated that Japan won't sacrifice the domestic agriculture industry for the sake of winning US tariff concessions for automobiles. Speaking after talks with Chinese officials in Geneva, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the two sides have reached a deal for a 90-day pause on measures. He added that reciprocal tariffs would come down by 115%. The combined 145% US levies on most Chinese imports will be reduced to 30%, including the rate tied to fentanyl by May 14th. 125% Chinese duties on US goods will drop to 10%. The Geneva meetings were the first face-to-face interactions between senior US and Chinese economic officials since US President Donald Trump returned to power. The fourth round of US and Iran talks over Tehran's nuclear program ended in Oman on Sunday, with both sides confirming plans for future negotiations. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said that the latest talks were more serious, more detailed than the previous rounds, indicating a potentially constructive direction for ongoing discussions. The officials said both sides signaled readiness for further talks despite Tehran's insistence on enriching uranium and US hardline rhetoric. Speaking at a cabinet meeting, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian asserted that Iran has no intention of developing nuclear weapons. Pezeshkian underlined Iran's dedication to using nuclear technology for peaceful purposes, including in their healthcare and agriculture sectors. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has stated that he is ready to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin this Thursday in Istanbul for talks. Zelensky also reaffirmed that Kiev's proposed ceasefire for Monday remains in effect and is awaiting a response from Moscow, but will retaliate if Russia violates the proposed truce. Hamas announced on Sunday that it has agreed to release Israeli-American hostage Eden Alexander, believed to be the last surviving American in captivity. In a joint statement, Qatar and Egypt described Hamas's decision to release Eden Alexander as a promising move that could help revive Gaza ceasefire negotiations. US President Donald Trump hailed the decision, vowing to push for a lasting peace in the region. In a social media post, Trump said that this was a step taken in good faith towards the United States and the efforts of the mediators. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated that Israel did not agree to a ceasefire or release of prisoners with Hamas, but only committed to establishing a safe corridor for the release. Netanyahu's office added that only commitment made was to establish a safe corridor for the release of Israeli-American hostage Eden Alexander. Albania's Prime Minister Edi Rama looks for an unprecedented fourth term in office, according to partial results on Monday, which showed that his Socialist Party has a commanding lead in Sunday's parliamentary election. Millions of Filipinos headed to the polls on Monday for midterm elections amid intensifying conflict between President Ferdinand Marcos and impeached Vice President Sara Duterte. At least 23 people were killed in 4 separate attacks on Saturday night in central Nigeria's Benue state, a Red Cross official confirmed on Sunday. Contenders for South Korea's presidency kicked off their campaigns on Monday, vowing to revive the sluggish economy. South Korea will hold a snap presidential election on June 3rd to choose Yoon Suk-yeol's successor. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Monday promised net migration would fall significantly by 2029 as he announced policies to boost skills and training. And in some breaking news that we are tracking at this hour, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the nation at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. This is an update that we are tracking here in Express News. And to give us more on this breaking news, we are joined by Arun Sharma on the phone line. Arun, so Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the nation at 8 p.m. What is the latest that you have for us?
Absolutely. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing the nation today at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Now, this is a very big development. Now, we know this fact that there has been a ceasefire between India and Pakistan, and how India has given a befitting reply to Pakistan. Now, we also know this fact, Tanvi, that it was Pakistani terrorists and the terrorists based in Pakistan, of course, who executed this entire Pahalgam incident. 26 people were killed as far as the Pahalgam terror attack is concerned. After that, we have seen that how a strong leader like Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was constantly chairing his meetings. Now, we would also know this fact, Tanvi, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi was on his visit to Saudi. He did cut short his visit from Saudi and he returned back to India. And immediately after that, he started taking back-to-back high-level security meeting whereby, top-level officers and, of course, NSA, Ajit Doval, 3 chiefs of the services, the tri-services primarily. All these, officers were involved. So constantly all the meetings, the high-level meetings were being chaired by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And, we also know this fact that the Operation Sindoor, that was executed by India, and a strong reply, a strong befitting reply was given to Pakistan. So yes, of course, this is the victory of entire India. 140 crore people, this is the victory of India. And we know this fact that how under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, we have seen that he has taken inputs from the army personnel as well. And the kind of strategy that was made by India, that was commendable. And because of Operation Sindoor, India has given a befitting reply to Pakistan, destroying, major capacities and infrastructure, or the terror infrastructure that were based in Pakistan. There are, various attacks, that were conducted by India on Pakistan that destroyed the capacities, the infra of the Pakistan, whereby terror camps were based. And of course, we also know this fact, Tanvi, that revenge has been taken now from the soil of Bihar, because the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when he was in Bihar, he clearly said this point, that terrorism in no format will be tolerated. A befitting reply will be given to those who have done this Pahalgam terror attack. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi from Bihar said that entire world is watching India and of course is with India as far as the terrorism is concerned. India, earlier also we have seen that how India has been on forefront as far as combating terrorism is concerned, and on various multilateral platforms, India has raised this issue of terrorism as well. And now India has given this befitting reply, and today, now at 8 p.m., Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing the nation, because this is the victory of the nation. This is the victory of 140 crore Indians, and this is the revenge that India has taken as far as this Pahalgam terror attack is concerned. Operation Sindoor, the successful operation that India has conducted, and it's a befitting reply as far as the terrorism is concerned from Pakistan. Tanvi?
Is successful, and India time and again maintains that it only targeted terrorists and terrorist infrastructure inside Pakistan following the terrorist attack on Pahalgam, which killed tourists and civilians. Thank you very much, Arun Sharma, for tracking this breaking news for us. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the nation at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And now let's resume with the rest of the Express News. So Delhi residents woke up to pleasant weather on Monday morning as the city continues to enjoy a spell of relief from the scorching heat after the light rain over the past week. Thunderstorms accompanied by rain and gusty winds are likely to continue until Tuesday, with cloudy skies expected for the rest of the week, according to the Met Department. Amid summers becoming harsher in India these days, the India Meteorological Department said that the heat wave conditions are likely over some areas of Bihar and West Bengal till 15th of May and may commence over Jharkhand and North Odisha from 13th of May. India's Meteorological Department also predicted extremely heavy rainfall at isolated places over Meghalaya on 13th May and isolated heavy rainfall over Arunachal Pradesh, Assam and Meghalaya from 11th to 15th of May. More than 100 people have died after flooding in a village near the shores of Lake Tanganyika in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, a local official said. Spokesperson for South Kivu government said in a statement that the flooding incident occurred between Thursday night and Friday when torrential rains and strong winds caused the Kasaba River to overflow its banks. Devotees across India celebrated Buddha Purnima on Monday to mark the birth anniversary of Gautam Buddha. Buddha Purnima Day is commemorated by Buddhists and Hindus all over the world and is a major festival in countries including Nepal, Bhutan, Burma, Thailand, Tibet and many more. The Pop and Glitter Spectacle Eurovision Song Contest 2025 officially launched in Basel, Switzerland, with a vibrant parade throughout the historic city, marking the beginning of a week filled with festivities, leading to the grand finale. The 69th edition of the world's largest annual live televised music event is expected to attract around 160 million viewers globally. The parade was accompanied by drummers, carnival groups, marching bands, alphorn players and techno acts as they crossed the River Rhine over Mintel Bridge, ending up at the Eurovision Village fan zone. A group of women in Turkish village of Songali has turned tradition into a livelihood by selling handmade cloth dolls to tourists from around the world. Londoners were treated to non-stop Punch and Judy shows featuring the clumsy puppet characters that have entertained adults and children alike for centuries. Puppeteers from all over the country gathered in the gardens of St. Paul's Church, Covent Garden, to celebrate their craft with the joy of hundreds of children who had come to laugh at the clumsy character who wrestles with police and alligators who struggle to take care of children. Set in a basement-turned performance space in central London, the new musical Oscar at the Crown offers audiences a 360 nightclub pop musical experience. Hoping it offers something different to the theatre on offer in the West End, composer and choreographer Andrew Barrett Cox said that the piece is about radical inclusivity. Documenting the conflict in Gaza, photos taken by Palestinian photojournalists were displayed in an exhibition in Cairo as part of the Cairo Photo Week. The exhibition included works by 10 Gaza photographers who told stories related to displacement, hunger, life and death through their lens. More than 3,000 Bolivians gathered in La Paz to play Andean music known as taqueda in an attempt to break a world record, authorities said. During the event, organizers hope to break a world record for the largest taqueda, said Esperanza Guevara, Bolivia's Minister of Culture. Bird enthusiasts in Colombia took part in International Bird Watching Day in the northwestern part of the country. The Global Big Day is a worldwide birding event where bird watchers from all around the globe are encouraged to go out and observe birds, then report their sightings on the event's website. Thousands of bikers rode together in Buenos Aires dressed in elegant clothes to raise awareness for prostate cancer. The event, called Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, also seeks to shine a light on men's mental health, especially on suicides triggered by depression. The 2025 Tony Award nominees gathered with the press a week after receiving their nominations for their stage performances. Tony Award nominations included both established stars and emerging artists, highlighting the vibrant and dynamic nature of Broadway. British television show Thomas and Friends celebrates its 80th anniversary by releasing the original plot. Mattel UK has also partnered with the Auctioneer Prop Store to offer a sale of a variety of props from the show. Stuffed Moomin characters paraded through the streets of Brussels' European quarters to celebrate their 80th anniversary. The event marked a milestone for the beloved Moomin series, originally created by Finnish illustrator and writer Tav Jansson. The 2025 BAFTA TV Awards held on 11th of May at the Royal Festival Hall. Marisa Bella took home the Leading Actress Award for her performance in the industry, while Jessica Gunning won the Best Supporting Actress Award. Indian actor Anupam Kher unveiled Nasir's character poster from Tanvi the Great as Brigadier Rao. Cannes Film Festival has won the tag of being one of the most prestigious events. Cannes hospitality is on the show ahead of the opening ceremony of the film festival. Raid 2 became Ajay Devgan's 8th highest grossing film. India's iconic cricketer Virat Kohli has called time on his illustrious Test career. Kohli posted on social media platform Instagram, and I quote him, "It's been 14 years since I first wore the baggy blue in Test cricket." Reactions poured in from across the cricket fraternity as the modern-day legend Virat Kohli bid farewell to red ball cricket. Indian women's cricket team thrashed Sri Lanka by 97 runs to win the Tri-Nation Series on Sunday. The Indian women's team now has joint most 300-plus one-day international totals by a women's team in a calendar year. On to football, Barcelona mounted a spectacular comeback to beat Real Madrid 4-3 in La Liga and moved to the brink of the title after overcoming a hat-trick from Kylian Mbappe. Inter Milan kept their Serie A dream alive with a confident 2-0 win at Torino as they showed no signs of letting up in the title race. Karim Benzema bagged a brace as Saudi Pro League leaders Al Ittihad secured a 3-0 win at their home against Al Fahiha. PSG's forward Ousmane Dembele was named the League One Player of the Year. West Ham United secured a Premier League win at Old Trafford for the first time in 18 years with a 2-0 victory over Manchester United on Sunday. The Taliban has banned chess in Afghanistan due to religious concerns as it continues its opposition to various forms of entertainment and sports. In Italian Open, four-time Grand Slam champion Carlos Alcaraz defeated Laslo Djere 7-6, 6-2 to advance into the last 16. Alexander Zverev edged past Lithuanian qualifier Vilius Gobis, easing to a 6-4, 6-0 win in the last 16. In the women's category, world number 1 Arna Sabalenka came from a set down to beat Sofia Kenin and progressed to the last 16 of the Italian Open. Olympic medalist Neeraj Chopra will compete at the Doha leg of the prestigious Diamond League on May the 16th. And with that, we end this edition of Express News. Thank you for tuning in. News and updates continue on DD India. Namaskar.